Hello guys, good evening. How are you all? I hope everybody is good. So today we'll be discussing about how a cell stays in the plant, or what are the different phases of that cell in plant. I'm not talking about the cell division wale phases, okay? I'm talking particularly about how cell's life remains in the plant, okay? So for that you just need to know some short forms. You can see a 1 degree written, that means primary, and 2 degree means secondary. That's all, okay? So now let's discuss about how a growth takes place in plant. So first and foremost thing, we know that in case of plant, whenever the growth takes place, the main tissue responsible for giving more and more cells is nothing but the meristematic tissue. So I consider this as one of the cells from meristematic tissue, and how its processing takes place in whole life, that is what we're going to discuss. So this is single cell, okay? Now as we know, this is a single cell of meristematic tissue. It will undergo cell division because meristematic tissue is the only tissue having ability to divide, right? So it divides into two cells. Now both the cells here also belong to meristematic tissue itself, okay? But from both, one of the cell goes back and remains as meristematic tissue only, because you must have observed the number of cells present in meristematic tissue during the birth of the plant is similar to the number of cells present at the senescence or at the death of the plant, okay? Because always when a cell divides, meristematic cell divides into two cells, one of the cell moves back to the meristematic tissue, and this meristematic tissue, as it is existing already in the plant from birth, that is called as the primary meristematic tissue, okay? And its nature is undifferentiated cell because it has the ability only to divide, no other function is present, okay? The another cell which is formed from meristematic tissue now undergoes the process of differentiation. Definitely it will get some particular function, right? The process of attaining some particular function is nothing but called as differentiation. After differentiation, you can see its nucleus size remains same, but the cell shape functions changes. So this cell will attain ability to perform some particular activity except cell division, and this cell will belong to primary permanent tissue as it is formed from primary meristematic tissue, and its nature will be differentiated cell. Now when this differentiated cell, sometimes there are situations in plant when differentiated cell requires to divide. So at that time it has to go the process, reverse process of that of differentiation, which is called as de-differentiation, which results in formation of a cell which is formed from primary permanent tissue, but it has ability to divide. So that is again a meristematic tissue, but that is secondary meristem. See, 2 degree ms. Ms stands for meristem, okay? And this cell will be exactly similar to that of undifferentiated cell, but this is a different version, therefore called as de-differentiated cell, as it is formed from differentiated cell, okay? Now this as it is a meristematic tissue, as it has the ability to divide, it will divide and form more and more tissues. So again from this also secondary meristem, you will observe the same thing. The cell divides, one of the cell remains in meristematic tissue itself as secondary meristem, and another cell which is formed that undergoes differentiation. But now you can see in life of this cell, the differentiation is coming second time. This is the first differentiation, this is the second differentiation, therefore this is called as redifferentiation, and the cell produced is called as redifferentiated cell. So now you can see this differentiated cell and this redifferentiated cell, both are similar in nature, but their activities will be different. So you can see secondary, this is secondary permanent tissue as formed from secondary meristematic tissue, okay? Redifferentiated cell RDC, and DC will have exactly same nature as RDC, or RDC will have exactly same nature as DC, okay? So this is how the cell keeps moving. Rather, it doesn't exactly rotate or move inside the plant, but yeah, it has the ability to change its forms as and when required. Therefore we call plant as totipotent, okay? Thank you guys. Any doubts, please ask in comment section.